Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful day with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. Well, I was scheduled to really have a guest today, an astrologer, because there's going to be a lot of things going on next week when we change months from going from July into August. There are going to be no less than 5 or 6 planets retrograde, all in August. So if over the last, shall we say, about a week and a half or so, phones have been acting up. I know mine has a couple other things. You will understand. So my guest will not be able to make it today. Her name is astrologer Kalia Washington, and she will be here a guest on Wednesday. Okay, so first of all, let me do this. Nope, don't want to do that. Alrighty. Take this off. All right. Here we go. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us this Monday, July the 24th. Okay. And I want to let you know this segment of Live with Lloyd is brought to you by the Sisters of the Traveling Spread. It is about the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness retreat. It is going to be in a matter of weeks, literally now. So please, you'll get your chance to be a part of a very amazing and once-in-a-lifetime event where you have 5 great persons all under one roof, from Nina Diamond to Aquarius Maximus to Jazz Aphrodite to Brother King Solomon. I saw his son yesterday when I was in Brooklyn, looking just like King Simon, rather, and myself, of course. And so please sign up. You go to stshealing.com. In fact, this is another promo here right there too. So go right here. It's August 17th to the 20th in New Orleans at the Hilton Riverside. So go to stshealing.com for the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness retreat. Sign up before it's too late. I know sometimes we like to be late. I've been accused myself of being late, so I ain't one to talk about nobody. You know, sometimes people do things at the last minute. Well, guess what? I am one of them myself. All righty. So anyway, what I am going to do is talk about the aspects for next week, which starts August. And I'm going to be talking about some of the planets that the astrologers, because I'm thinking about having Dominic Holmes back on, Hood Mystic back on, and some others, because it's going to be not only just a hot summer, but with all the planets at the same time being kind of out of kilter, it's going to be something. So anyway, first of all, let me do the forecast for today. Lloyd, Live with Lloyd, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. Please share, please like, and please subscribe. Genuinely, please do that. LWL, which is Live with Lloyd, or LS, Lloyd Strayhorn, will never DM you for money or with a message. And I have to do this since about a couple of months ago, about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months now. There was somebody sending something out in my name asking, do you want to, or you need a reading? No, you don't need a reading. People come to me. So that is, please understand, I am not, I repeat, I will not ever ask you for money, or I'll ask maybe in the half of somebody else, like the sister I had, Darlene Opo, who is having Adani books, something like that. Yes, but for myself, never. But anyway, it's Monday, July 24th of 2023. The sun is in Leo. The moon is in the fixed sign of Scorpio. So both sun and moon are in fixed signs. It's a 5 universal month, 7 universal week. Did I do that right? No, it's a 9 universal week, because we're in the week of the 22nd to the end of the month. Boy, see, every time I'm going to get this thing right. I'm going to do my best on Wednesday. But anyway, it is 11 universal day, though. That I got right. And so Leo, Aquarians, Tauruses, and Libras, if you're out in the audience, this is your day. Or if you're born on the 2nd, the 6th, the 11th, the 15th, the 20th, 24th, and 29th of the month. So now, before I go, let me make a couple of announcements and get that out the way. This coming Sunday, I'm going to be at Nicholas, Brooklyn, out at 1396 Fulton Street with Sister Cafunia, Hank Rising Sun. In fact, I've just been told they want me on this show this evening at around about the 9 o'clock hour, so you'll get more details then. But Cafunia, Hank Rising Sun, myself, and other people will be there to read you. It'll be between 5:30. That's when the doors open. I think it's up until about maybe 9:30, 10, something like that. But that is the address. That's where you go this coming Saturday, the 29th. Jackie Levine, the moderator, her writing workshop has obviously been a huge success. As you know, about a month or so ago, I've had her on and she talked about it, the different components. So if you want to be more professional in your writing, if you want to know why she cranked out 2 bestsellers, Knocking from the Inside, Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded, you'll understand why. And she will go through the steps. So evidently, this is an encore presentation because evidently the response has been tremendous. So please, at the bottom, register there, jazzaphrodite.com/learn. That's jazzaphrodite.com/learn. All righty. And so we got that. And so now, what I want to do is talk about some of the aspects of next month. Now, here we go. If you notice, the question has been, in fact, I got a question on my WhatsApp today about a gentleman wrote in, how did I get the personal year, personal month, personal week? And to me, it's very simple. The weeks are, because it's a concept I developed. But anyway, let's start with the year. The year in and of itself is 2023. Fine. To get your personal year for this year, 2023, you take the month and day you're born, but instead of adding the year you're born, you substitute the year you were born and you replace it with 2023. I like this technique because you have some visionary people that want to do 5-year plans or what's up ahead for the next 2 or 3 years. All they've got to do is say, let's say April the 20th, 2023, April the 20th, 2024, April the 20th, 2025, April the 20th, 2026. They will know from this year over the next 9 years up until 2026, each personal year they will be in with exact mathematical precision. Okay. Then they can go back in the past. So for those of you who have had milestones of very significant meanings to you, if you can remember that year, you just add it on. So in this case, what I did to find the personal month, though, I took August, which is the 8th personal month. I added it to this year, 2023, added my columns down, added across. It will be a 6 universal month for everybody, not just you, not me, everybody, nations, birds, dogs, cats, you name it. Everybody walking this planet will be experiencing this 6 universal energy. Now, 6 is ruled by the planet Venus, which is going retrograde when I get to the retrograde planets for August anyway. 6 represents home, family, love, marriage, separation, divorce, births, pregnancies, moving into a home, moving out of a home. Now, this is going to be very important for the men. Why do I say that? Well, guys, if you want to know what kind of relationship you're likely to have with a woman, you look at your Venus. For women, if they want to know what kind of man they're likely to deal with, you look to see what position or what planet your Mars is in. All righty. So this will apply more so for the men, particularly relationships this year, for this coming month. Also, it indicates that 6 is a direct opposition number to the United States. I'm not, I'm just saying what the numbers is. It is what it is, because the United States is a number 4, and the direct opposition number to the 4 is the 6. And so universally, the United States might be tested in more ways than one. Don't forget, August is one of the hottest months in the meantime anyway. And I understand they've been giving warnings about excessive heat. I think I read a client in Texas the other day, and it was about 107, 108, something like that. Okay, so anyway, so that's the 6 universal month. So if you're a Taurus, you will be the beneficiary. If you are a Libra, you will be the beneficiary. No matter what, Cancer, or if you're born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of any month, you will be one of the few beneficiaries to get past the month of August and find shape. All righty. Now, the concept of the personal weeks, which is, I explained to the gentleman today when I answered this question, because in my app, I have a question mark where you ask questions. And he wanted to know, how did I get the personal year, the personal week, the personal month, which was easy for me, although it's a concept that is very unique. And what I do is this: each week has a division of seven. Seven is always important. 7 days in the week, 7 notes in the musical scale, 7 continents, the 7 wonders of the world, the 7 deadly sins, 7 this, that, and the other. Sevens is all over the place. So I says, why not use the divisions of seven? Because on average, there are 4 weeks. Now, yes, there are times when calendars will have 5 Fridays, 5 Saturdays, 5 Sundays. I ain't taking away from that, but I'm sticking with the original concept. And so the first 7 days are week number 1. So if you add the 6th personal month for August to the first calendar week, it will be 6 plus 1 is 7. So what will happen is, yes, this month will be about home, family, school, education, health, diet. Especially women are going to be changing their hair like crazy probably this month too. But the first week says about a lot of soul searching, about maybe the people they love, where they live, why they're pursuing educational pursuits, things of that nature. You will find that during the week of the 1st through the 7th, that those under the signs of Pisces and Cancers will be the beneficiaries of that week, and they can expect things to happen on the first Monday or somewhere around the 7th of the month. Now, in the second week, because 6 plus the second calendar week equals 8, that'll be from the 8th to the 14th. So I expect somewhere around the second Saturday, or so somewhere around the 8th or the second Saturday, that there's going to be, and it's interesting because 6 rules marriages and divorce, 8 rules marriages and divorce, 6 rules pregnancy, 8 rules pregnancy. So if the pregnancy things shoot up, I wouldn't be surprised. Not that I'm starting anything, but here's what it means too. It doesn't have to be biological. It could be something more symbolic, like birth to a business, birth to an enterprise. And since 6 and 8 are real estate numbers, people who are trying to negotiate deals around the second week, that would be the best time to do it. You'll find that in that week, Capricorns, Aquarians, Libras will be the beneficiaries, as well as anybody born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month. So in the third week, which is the 15th to the 21st, so when I add 6 personal month to the third position week, that's a 9. Now, 9 deals with energy. 9 deals with Aries and Scorpios and Leos, or anybody born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month. 9 is also global, universal, international. 9 is a number that's also inspirational. But since 9 is also an antagonistic number to the United States, this would be probably one of those crazy weeks of conflicts, fires, explosions, all kinds of drama going on. Not that I want it to be, but knowing that, in fact, the opposition numbers to the United States is the 6, 8, and 9. So the week of the 8th through the 21st is going to be very, very challenging to this nation. So since it's the third week, it tells me the third Tuesday or somewhere around the 18th of the month is going to be a most dramatic type of thing. So for those of you who keep tabs on me, we'll see how that works, okay? Then finally, when we close out the last week, so 6 plus the last calendar week adds up to a 10 or 1. So it tells me either the last Sunday in the week, the last Sunday in the month of August, or somewhere around the 28th. Expect a break, expect some new and innovative changes and things of that nature. So that's in a nutshell that, by the way, Leos, followed by Aquarians, followed by Aries, or anybody born on the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 13th, the 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st, will be the beneficiaries coming out of the last several days of August. Now, one of the things I want to do is have Clear Washington on. Then also, I'd like to recommend my good buddy Dominic Holmes out of Detroit, the city of Detroit. he was talking about Venus going retrograde. In fact, it went retrograde Saturday. Okay. And Venus Venus is the planet of desires. And men, I'm telling you, if you want to find out for men about the kind of woman you're likely to draw in your behalf, or that would interest you in some way, shape, or form, all men should look at what planet is in their sign of Venus, or what sign is in the planet Venus for their position. For the women, you'll go check and see what planet is sitting in your Mars. This is why this popular book came out decades ago. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Was it? Yeah, yeah. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It was a very popular book at the time it came out, because that's what they were basing it on, just understanding the kind of relationships you have. I know with my planet in Venus, I too tend to attract certain types of females who have always been beneficial to me too. So all men, guys, take a, snap out of it. I know women are more interested in this, but this planet, so Pluto is going to be retrograde. It went retrograde on the 1st of May all the way to the 10th of October. Saturn is now in retrograde. That went on June the 27th through November the 4th. Neptune, that went on the 30th through December the 6th. Venus, just 2 days ago, all the way to September. Then if you look at Mercury, everybody knows about Mercury retrograde. That deals with the mind, the mental aspects, okay? That will be on August the 23rd through the 15th. And what I didn't include was Uranus is going to go retrograde starting August the 28th. So as you see, although some of them started in May and June, and one hasn't started yet, but for the main, August is going to have no less than, at some point, 6 planets out of alignment. So what that simply means, if things seem to be crazy or things don't seem to make sense, try not to let it get to you, okay? And there is something in the heavens you and I have no control, okay? Trust me. So although they say the stars impel, it's the stars impel, but it doesn't compel, because sometimes we think we're more influenced more by the stars. Two-way, directly and indirectly, we are. But we still have a choice. And I guess that's why God put us on this planet, to use our minds to make decisions despite what the circumstances are in a cosmic way. All right. So now with that, I'm going to go to the comment section. And this is a fun part for me. Please get the likes up. So I don't have to hear from Aphrodite. I don't have to hear from Stephen and Carol Williams out in Chicago, and my buddy Westbrook, and a couple other people that have been my favorite, because y'all have supported me from Jump Street. Please get the likes up so I don't have to hear any responses. And I understand the likes have been going up too. One day I got to find out what's so important about the likes. Well, anyway. Okay, this person says their Mars and Leo is in Venus, so is in Leo. This is goddess. See the goddess, okay? So I would look at her Mars. So since Mars is in Leo, now Leo is, is a magnanimous sign. It is ruled by fire. It is ruled by the sign that is very proactive, very visionary, very straightforward. So therefore, it would kind of give me a clue that her Mars, since Leo's sitting in her Mars, the kind of men she would prefer. And it ain't about the height. It ain't about the money. It's about the mindset and the attitude and the actions of that person. So if the person is kind of like on the wimpy side, I don't think they're going to work too well with See the Goddess. But if they're, regardless of their size, gender, height, all these other things that people say, everybody wants 6 this, 6 that. So 6 was a lucky number, especially in 2022. Everybody wanted 6 this, 6 that, 6 that. But regardless of that, it's not about that number as so much as understanding the kind of person you would come in, or a person at least is proactive, because Leos are the pioneers. They are the innovators. They are the doers. They are the darers. They are the conquerors. Okay. So this would be probably the kind of person she would like in her life. All right, good. Thanks for that, God. It just started it right off. Okay, so let me go back here a bit. And now I do pick random. Now, let me tell you how I try to work it. I'll start from the top and then go from the back, start from the top, go to the back. So I get a little bit of everybody. And let me see. Here we go. This is Eddie Hendricks. He wants to know what's his lucky numbers and lucky days. Simple. You are a Cancer 9 person. That means your lucky numbers are the 9, 6, and 3. It means that each day is assigned to a number. So thus Tuesday is assigned to 9, 6 is assigned to Friday, and Thursday is assigned, 3 is assigned to Thursday. So thus Tuesday, Friday, Thursday are your 3 best days. And so since I'm looking at it, you happen to be in a 5 personal year. And since you're in a 5 personal year, you happen to be going in a 4 personal month for August. So that means you're going to have to tighten it up a little bit, keep things kind of tight within some boundaries, some restrictions, some parameters, shall we say, and not go off board. And because you are a 9, 9s can get feisty, but it says to kind of use some strategic kind of methods and try to follow a blueprint of some kind too. All righty. Thank you, Eddie. So let me go back to, now this person says, a Forest Eba. They said they keep saying 444 everywhere. What does that mean? Well, in my book, I have a chapter called Numerology and Thought Reading. It's my orange book behind me on the shelf. And what it does is it says that subconsciously, we have a way of doing things. That's why an interrogation or whatever, hypnotist will hypnotize a person to have them recall things that consciously they don't recall, but subconsciously it records everything, whether you can remember it or not. So when I see 444, what first thing it does is it adds up to 12. 12 in numerology from the compound number is called the hangman. Now, if you want to know the double numbers or whatnot, or the compound numbers, which means once you get past 9, 1 plus 0 is 10. Okay, that's a double number. Then 11 is a double number, or they call it compound numbers. So I would suggest that you pick up a copy of Miss Levine's book, Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded, where she talks about all the compound numbers. 12 is called the hangman in the tarot deck. It's a picture symbol, young lady, of a person who is hung upside down by the ankle. It denotes mental suffering and anxiety of mind. And it simply means if you're not careful, something is saying subconsciously you need to avoid being the victim or the sacrifice for the plans and intrigues of others. Somebody call you up, you haven't heard from them in eons, all of a sudden they're getting all friendly, but going down the home stretch, can you do them a solid? And you will grant the solid, but then when you hang up the phone, you said like, yo, they ain't talked to me in a long time. Now all of a sudden they want me to do this for them. Why is that? So what it simply means also is something dealing with your career. But if so, it means you have to get it tight, because I'm looking at 4s across the board from beginning to end, first, middle, and last. So it means along the way, be structured. It also means too, that since 3 rules Sagittarius and Pisces, or anybody born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th of the month, they will play an important role. But because it's made up of 4s, it tells me that Aquarians and Leos and Geminis too may be the background players that help you get to this point. All righty. So I hope that helped you. All right. Let's see. This is Miss Dobson, and she is born 10/10. All right, 1985. She's born at 10:08 p.m. So that's interesting. And nonetheless, though, it tells me her I think her son is in about the 4th house, somewhere sitting on the edge of the 4th or 5th house. But nonetheless, it does tell me, Latricia, that this year is a year for you to end things since you're in a 9 personal year. What I mentally did was took the month, the day you're born, added it to this year. You're in a 9 personal year. Since we are heading right around the corner to August, I says 9 added to the 8th calendar month equals 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. So this is a time to make some power moves. Now, I see the year you're born, and 8 is also one of the pregnancy indicators. Not that you will get pregnant, Tricia. Understand, but it means symbolic pregnancies too, a birth to an enterprise. Or somebody could say, girl, you're going to be a niece, or girl, you're going to be a godmother, or something like that. Or may attend weddings, because 8 always brings people back from the past by way of weddings, funerals, family reunions, christenings, baby showers, things of that nature. And you also do a lot of maturing and growing up too. but your key numbers are the 1, 4, and 9, and your best days are always on a Sunday and a Tuesday. All righty. So now let me go to the other end. Okay. Let me say this. This person just came in Sutra. I hope Sutra you heard me read the other person who was born 1010, because the same applies to you too. 9 personal year, 8 personal month, reconnecting from the past, doing a lot of growing up, things of that nature. But the best week is going to be, which I didn't share with the first 1010, is that if all the weeks, the second week of the 8th through the 14th, so somewhere around the second Sunday or somewhere around the 10th, look for something very important to develop on those terms for you. All right. But your key numbers also, Socha, are the 1, the 4, and the 9. All righty. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You said, okay, she said something about mailing some paper about the app, but never got a help. Okay, we'll look at that. I'm going to take a look at my the app, or I have an email address for my app called a star 8 llc@gmail.com. I'll post that later, okay? Because I want to make sure now, got to understand, all this is very, very new, this app. So everything is a work in progress. So if everybody's thinking you come out the gate slamming, smoking, well, some people do. And then guess what? Some people don't. But it's going to be great. It's great already. And it's just going to even get greater. I want to thank Ellen Morris. She says, grand evening, Brother Lloyd. Peace and blessings, family. Grateful. Appreciate your service, community. Be well. And she didn't even give me a birthday. But here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at her name. She's got a lot of youthful numbers in her name. In fact, if you look at her first name, every single letter falls in the youthful category. It's 53355. So that's 10. That's 1021, which adds up to a 3 also. So this tells me, if I did that right, that's 10. Yeah, that's 21. 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah. So that means your one of your parents is either a Sagittarius or Pisces, or born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th of the month. But it tells me you'll always be young and hard. I'm looking at your last name, so it tells me you come out of a family line that's very finicky or fussy about their eating habits, or the women are great cooks, or whatever the case is like that too. Because see, the birthday is one thing, but your name tells a whole lot too, which is why I developed the Learn from Lloyd series, how to read a person like a book, the next step in numerology, the do's and don'ts of numerology. So you can understand that there's so many aspects to you. This part that you see, this is just entertainment. But when you read my book, the 400 pages, it's the real deal, seriously. So it's about going down the rabbit hole to understand that. But Ellen, thank you so much for that. Much, much appreciated. Okay, so let me go to, I agree with RNM. Just hit the like buttons, okay? Come on, just hit the like buttons. All righty. Okay, let's go here. And by the way, I do want to thank Jazz Aphrodite right there. She's giving out if I would like a reading, this is where you go to get it. Okay. And RNN, she is born on the 31st, or they, since I'm not sure of the gender, they are born on the 31st of the month. And they've got a birthday coming up literally right around the corner. I think it's on Monday, if I'm not mistaken, because Tuesday is a full moon day. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, the moon will be in Capricorn on the 31st and on the 1st. And in fact, at 11:58 p.m. on Monday, it goes into the sign of Aquarius, leading into Tuesday, August the 1st. So anyway, for you, we'll be one of the first to wish you happy birthday. For you this year, you are in a 9 personal year, a year where you need to gather all your pieces together that you need to manifest, and at the same time, gather all the things that you need to get rid of. Attitudes, negative people, toxic situations, things that's not working in your behalf, and begin to manifest and fulfill some of the dreams or some of the things you want to do. It tells me that during this time, the year that you're in, that people under the sign of Aries and Scorpios will help you. In a minor way, Leos, which is you. So you got it made right there. But I noticed your birthday indicates sometimes being hard to understand at first because people will think you're kind of weird or like, what's up with you? But at the same time, you like to be different, super sensitive. And your key numbers, by the way, are the 4, 1, and 5. And your best days are always, without exception, Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. All righty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, Jazz says we need 30 more likes. So please hit the like buttons. Okay, thank you. It don't cost you nothing but just to push your finger. I don't know where the like button is on mine because maybe I'm hosting this thing. But anyway, let me do, I'm going to do Jennifer Smith. Jennifer Smith is an Aries 7 person born the same day as Billie Holiday and a couple other famous people of note. Now, she would be what is called the strong, silent type. She's an Aries. Aries is known as a very powerful, assertive sign. No matter where you go on this planet, almost always, unless you go into the Orient or stuff like that and deal with different calendars, because there are different calendars. And people have asked me about that. I'm no calendar expert. I know there's the Mayan calendar and there's this calendar, and there's a calendar for the Middle East and whatnot. But I'm dealing with Western civilization, so I'm focused, okay? I can't know everything. So what I'm saying is that this case, so she's a fire sign, but with a water number. And that cools things down. That makes it very sophisticated, very kind of laid back, very individualistic. In fact, this is a birthday of also Billy D. Williams, the actor that played opposite the character in Billie Holiday with Diana Ross, who is also an Aries. They were all Aries, which is interesting, portraying an Aries character. But nonetheless, it tells me that this year is a year about finality. You are in a 9 personal year. 9 represents Aries and Scorpios and Leos. It represents people born on the 9th, 18th, or 27th. It indicates universal influence, international influence, global influence. It means travel great distances. It means fulfillment or manifesting some of the things you want, and yet at the same time, cutting your losses when and where necessary this year. And as a caveat for those in a 9 personal year like you, it simply means to the negative, stay away from anybody that want to fuss, fight, argue. Take your time while you're driving. Focus while you're dicing in the kitchen if you're cooking, or ironing if you're rushing before you get out the door, so you don't burn yourself, especially more to the left side of the body than the right side of the body, Jennifer. And in fact, your name Jennifer also adds up to a 32, which is a 5. That tells me that actually from your name and your birthday, you should get into some writing too. But your key numbers are the 7, 2, and 6, and Mondays and Fridays are your best days. And so I say salute to the Williams family too, out of Chicago. They've always, and it's really, really nice. And I tell you, it's very helpful. And let me see. I'm going back now. Let's see. Okay. I did Eddie Hendricks. Okay. Okay. Rara, I guess. Rach, I guess, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, I think. October the 6th. Well, each number has a natural home around the calendar. And the number 6 natural home is in the month of May and in the month of October. So therefore, Raj, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, that your number is exactly where it should be. So you are a 6 person born in the period of the 6, which is the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus, and that Venus rules the number 6 as well. So in your case, though, you happen to be in a 5 personal year when I add the month, the day, to the year 2023. So it tells me this year is like at a pivotal point in your life. It's like, you're on the road, you get off the exit, and when you get to the stop sign, you got signs pointing in all kind of directions. Well, that's kind of how this year is going to be for you, where you're going to have to make the decision. Should you, pivot left, pivot right, go forward, back up, go down the next exit, and get off to see what opportunities are, because this is an opportunity time for you. And if you are in a 5 personal year this year, then next year is even more auspicious, because next year, the year of the 8th, 2024, you will be in a 6 personal year, which will match your date of birth exactly. So right now, it's about making some changes, exercising some freedom and flexibility. But as we go from the fall from late September into October of this year, leading into 2024, you're going to find that you're going to go for a complete makeover. Your hair, your appearance, your weight, going back to school, exercising, tighten it up. And so you're in for a nice, nice time. And since 5 is very friendly to Libra and 5 is very friendly to 6, this should be a good year. And by the way, in a 5 cycle, I call that the cycle of sex attraction, which means if people are sweating you a little bit more than what they're doing, don't be surprised. By the way, though, your numbers are the 6, 9, and 3, and your best days are always on a Friday, Tuesday, and Thursday. All righty. Okay, so now I have Denise Sparrow, and she is, good evening to you too. She is born July the 19th. So that means she happens to be in a 6th personal year, which is, and we just talked about a person born on the 6th. So that tells me Denise is doing now what Rach is going to be doing next year. So it tells me that Denise so far this year has worked on or focused on a complete makeover on either how she looks, her appearance, her hair. I notice more so with women in a 6 period, whether it's a 6 month, 6 days, 6 year, 6 day, there's something they want to do with their hair. Streak it, style it, cut it, lengthen it. I mean, we just get a haircut and that's it. But sisters, y'all be hooking up your hair all kind of ways. So I would not be surprised, Denise. And if you haven't been serious about really doing something about your home, family, things of that nature, looking at the year you're born in of 62, it tells me you're going to end your years in travel and movement and whatnot. So retirement is not in the cards in that way for you. So cause now they think about every guy's got to retire, but no, you have people that no matter what age, they're very active to the end of time, the end of days. And you, my dear, will be one of them. And you're very, very forceful too, Denise. So yes, you're a Cancer to a degree, but you are a water sign with a 5 number. So that adds more decisiveness, more proactivities, a more assertiveness in terms of getting things done. And from that combination alone, it tells me you get along much better with the guys than with the girls. Okay. Your numbers are the 1, 4, 2, and 7. So you're the first one in this session that has 4 numbers rather than 2. And that is rare because about 95% of the people or more have 3 numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go to Danielle Armstead. Yeah, that's the pronounced way of saying it. They are an air sign with an air number. So since they're born at 8:53 p.m., so that's 6, 7, 8. So your sun is probably sitting in the 11th house, the sign of Aquarius. But anyway, but this would make sense too. If so, that would be very complimentary because you are an air sign with an air number. And if I am correct that your sun is sitting in the 11th house, which is the house of Aquarius, that's air too. So what that tells me, you're always active, almost to the point of sometimes being hyper, not in a bad way of doing it to the extreme. It's just that air rules, they're always thinking. Air signs are always thinking. Air numbers are always thinking. So when you combine that air sign with that air number, you're always thinking, and it tells me you never run out of questions. And since 5 is a literary number, Gemini is a literary sign, it tells me you would do well from writing books to writing grants and proposals or poems or something. And you should try those areas for yourself to see what you can do with them. But your lucky numbers are the 5, the 6, and the 9. And your best days are always, without exceptions, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday. And one thing I will say this. 5 in numerology is the number of sex attraction, as Scorpio in astrology is the sign of sex attraction. And what that tells me, Danielle Armstead, that through no fault of your own, there's always going to be somebody approaching you because 5 normally rules multiple relationships. Now, I don't mean that everybody on the planet of a 5 are into multiple relationships. But what happens is you'll have a 5, let's say you're married, there's going to be somebody that won't leave well enough alone. They'll say, I know you're married, Ms. Armstead, but can I still take you out anyway? That kind of thing. So if so, then you know it's not you. All righty. So anyway, let me go back to the far end. And this is Adyeni. Adyeni is born July 17th, which is a water sign with an earth number. And that makes them so much down to earth and grounded. And it tells me they're nurturing, because Cancer is a nurturing sign anyway. Okay. It is the mother of the universe, so to speak. And then the fact that you're born on the 17th is an 8, which is an earth number. So I'm looking at that water earth combination. And these are the two main elements to make anything grow on this planet. You notice, and you don't eat no vegetables, no fruits being born out of air and fire. You just don't. Everything is a product of the earth, fruits and vegetations, and mixed with water. Now they put chemicals and all that other stuff in it. But I'm just saying, so you got that kind of energy about you. It will always be there. And in fact, some powerful people from John D. Rockefeller and other people are born on this day, which means you also have the ability to handle money too. It also tells me that much older men have always been on your case. And so if so, that makes sense, because all your numbers represent maturity numbers, just as they are set up. Let me say this as a footnote. The youthful numbers in numerology are 1s, 3s, and 5s. If you see those numbers in your name a lot, it tells me either the person doesn't look their age, feel their age, act their age, but just the reverse with numbers that are 4, 7, 8s, and 9s. So if I see 4, 7, 8s, and 9s, so in this case, if you notice, you're born in the 7th month, that's a maturity number. You're born on the 17th, that's a maturity number, because 1 plus 7 is 8. But you're born in the year of 1999, which means as you get older, then they'll start being younger. But right now, I say much older people have been sweating you. Okay? That's all I can say. But anyway, your lucky numbers are the 8, 2, and 7, and Saturday, Sunday, and Saturday, Monday, and Fridays are your best days. So it's 8, 2, 7, Saturday, Monday, and Friday are your 3 best days to deal. All righty. So let's go to Lady A. She is 1111, and this is a relationship she has with 1117. Okay, now I'm looking at a water sign and a fire sign. Now they say these two shouldn't go together, all right? Because water is used to extinguish fire. However, he has an earth number. So earth goes well with the water. Now, this person is born under the master number 11. 11 is add up to a 2, but it's considered a master number because out of the 2 series of the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, and the 29th, this is the only in that set. It isn't made up of 2 in its composition. It's made up of 2 1s, and 1s are fire numbers. And the 11 rules the sign as the master number. The master number 11 rules the sign of Leo. So I understand the attraction. This is why I got into numerology in the first place. My love at first was astrology. And I would say, nah, you two shouldn't be together. And they'd be together 40, 50 years. Okay. And the most perfect example of a fire water I gave is Angela Bassett and her husband, Courtney Vance. She's fire, he's water, but she has a water sign and he has a fire sign. Well, this is exactly kind of duplicating that scenario. So, but he is a very important person, very powerful in this sense, very intense in this sense, and would have a love of doing things on a grand scale. You bringing visionary to the equation, I think would do very well. And that's interesting. I'm looking at the ages too. One is in 66 and one is in 1980. So anyway, I will say this. You, young lady, happen to be in a 2 personal year on 11. I'm doing it in my head. I don't have a pen. Maybe Jackie can confirm that. As for your mate, he is in a 5 personal year. So I'm looking at a 2 and a 5. And these numbers are numbers that represents when you're in this, things are fluid. Things are going which way the weather is going. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that means both of you in your own way, individually and maybe collectively as a unit, going to have to learn how to adapt to some changes. All righty. So I'll say that. And your numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. His numbers are the 8, 1, and 4. Completely different set of numbers. However, let's say, well, Lloyd, we getting married later for all this stuff. I'd say then I'd have everything based around you because in theory, women are the glue that lays the foundation to family. All righty. Although I understand things are changing quite a bit nowadays, whatever that means. But okay. Anyway, here we go. Kanitha, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Thank you so much for the donation. You are a Virgo 9 person. It tells me, first of all, you've always been very mature. You're going to end your last days well off with influential women, property, and things around you. It also indicates that you've gotten older. Notice she's in the 8th month and a 9-day, a day that adds up to a 9. These are maturity numbers. So it tells me she's been old since the beginning. So if your elders say, girl, you was born with a veil over your face, or, you just had this vision about you that, you've been talking to grandma and you was 2 years old with the things you were answering, all of that would make sense to me. But I also noticed that with 9 women, because it's ruled by Mars, they tend to attract men in uniform, law enforcement, military, construction, machinists, toolists, barbers, surgeons, or they themselves will wear a uniform. But your key numbers, though, dear, are the 9, the 5, and the 6, and your best days are always on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for the donation. Okay, and this is Anana. I hope I'm saying it right. She is, and it's interesting. Look at that. She's born on the 31st, and her daughter is born on the 31st. She's born under an air sign, but her daughter is born in a fire sign. And so it's interesting. So your numbers, Anana, are always the 4, 1, and 5, but your daughter's numbers are also, believe it or not, the 4, 1, and 9. So you'll have that 4 and 1 as a common denominator. And so what I'm looking at is the fact that she was born in 1998. So if I'm not mistaken, since your best months from this is always February, June, July, August, and September, and she was born in October, that means October, November, December. No, yeah. So that's late November, late November, late December. So somewhere you got pregnant with her around late January, February, which is none of my business. But looking at the year she's born and the day she's born, that's when you probably could see the fooling around doing something. Okay, that ain't none of my business. But I'm just saying, if so, you know what I'm saying. But essentially, y'all are both weird, not in a bad way, but in a way that makes y'all unconventional. And so they'll, the daughter, somebody will say to your daughter, girl, you just like your mother. Or the mother say, girl, you just like your daughter. And when y'all two together, y'all are something else. Except she adds more emotions to the component of the 31st 4. And you use more of the air as a component to the 31st 4. All righty. I'm going to try to stay on time this evening since I've been asked to be on another segment this evening at 9:30. This is MB8419. So that's interesting. That's 22. So those numbers, 8419, add up to 22. So that would indicate Aquarians, Geminis, Leos, or anybody born on a 1 or a 4, such as you. So you are born February the 19th. So that makes you a Pisces 1 person. And so Pisces are headstrong, and this is a 1 personal year for you. So this is a year, anytime your personal year is matching your date of birth, that is considered auspicious, or it adds extra to it. You know what I'm saying? It really gets you going. It's like having the wind at your back, moving you along in a steadfast way. And so since you are in a 1 personal year, this is your year to break new ground. This is your year to, this is a year where it's going to be, where innovative moves are made. This is a year where you need to take the initiative and plant the seeds that you want for the next 9 years. It's not what kids want, mates want, anything else. So it's about knowing what you want first and foremost. But your numbers are always 1, 4, and 3. Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays are your best days. And Jazz was sending a note that please, okay, just before 5 minutes before doing this show, I got a call from Sister Kafuna, a Leo. And she said, Lloyd, we want you on Hank Rising Sun show tonight. And I said, no, you don't, because I ain't scheduled to be on nobody's show tonight. But she says, well, you come. And I says, well, if so, I can't stay. But it's go to crystals, magnets, or it's magnets, crystals. But look up Hank Rising Sun. I had it on the tip of my tongue, but it's, and Jackie Levine and I was on that show too. because they're going to be talking about the fact I will be out in Nicholas, Brooklyn this Saturday, the 29th, with them in that evening. So I guess that's what they're going to talk about. But it's going to be this evening on crystals, magnets, and something. But you do crystals and magnets, you'll find them. Hank Rising Sun. I'm going to be with my buddy. I was with him yesterday out in Brooklyn, and Sister Cafunia. And it's interesting. Sister Cafunia is born on the 7th. Hank Rising Sun is born on the 7th. And I, Lloyd Strayhorn, am born on the 7th. So it's going to be sevens up in the house tonight. All righty. And this 7 universal year. Thanks very much, Jackie, for doing that. Byron Wall, born August the 26th, master number 11. How is that so? I know the year 1984 adds up to a master. Actually, the year 1984 adds up to the master number 22. Okay. But nonetheless, you are an earth sign with an earth number, which means very, very real. You know, if I had to judge the politics, it would probably lean more toward the Republican side than the Democratic side, although they're kind of both the same to some degree or another to me. But the point is that you would take a conservative position on almost anything you do, whether it's taking a chance, gambling, whatever the case. If you're in a casino, you ain't giving the casino all your money. You just ain't doing that. You already know when you roll up in there, the odds is always in their favor. That's that earthiness that you have in your mindset. Very intense, very loyal, very much misunderstood. But once they get to know you, they find you are just as cool as you want to be. All righty. So that's what I'm looking at. So your lucky numbers, by the way, are the 8, 6, and 5. And your best days are always on a Saturday first, a Friday second, then a Wednesday. Not Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, but you must reverse it for you. Saturday's always first. No, yes, Saturday's always first, Friday's always second, Wednesday's always in third position. All righty. So I've got about 8 more minutes. So let me do Renata Williams. Renata Williams is a Leo 4 number. So she's a fire sign with an air number. So that tells me she has that balance in her perspective. But notice she's in an 8-month and a 4 date. Now, the maturity numbers are always, without exceptions, the 4, the 7, the 8, and the 9. Now, take, for example, 8, the month she's born in, governs the sign of Capricorn, and it governs Aquarius. And notice Barack Obama, who was born on this day, married a Capricorn, Michelle Obama, that was born January the 17th, which is an 8, which I think is interesting. All right. So then she's in a 4-month. So it tells me she will always be old and hard to get to know. And because her month is date is a 4, it tells me during this period there are going to be a lot of secret enemies, which President Obama definitely had. I understand on the day he was elected, that night they was figuring out at a pub how to get rid of him, to make sure he didn't serve 1 term, much less wind up serving 2 terms. But 4 is the number of secret enemies anyway, because they're kind of like ahead of the curve. They're kind of like visionary. They tend to do things that's kind of like a little ahead of step, you know? So if you have some of those, welcome to the club. Well, now there's nothing wrong with you, but your key numbers are the 4, 1, and 5. Your best days are always on a Sunday, a Monday, and a Wednesday. And this particular year for you is a year of new beginnings, new directions, new opportunities, and doing things for what you want to do, regardless of what the folks may want, the kids may want, the man may want, whoever may want. You got to want for yourself. And if you're going to hang out with somebody, it should be me, myself, and I. But your numbers again are the 4, 1, and 5, and your best days are always on a Sunday, a Monday, and a Wednesday. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All righty. Now, this is interesting. This is Jennifer V. According to your app, my unfavorable numbers are the 8 and 4. 8 represents money. I'm trying to manifest money into my life by doing things with an 8. But how will that work if it's unfavorable? Got to understand. Yes, numbers are favorable and considered unfavorable. They are unfavorable if you're not aware. For example, if you were not aware of the potential dangers of fire, fire can serve a purpose, from cooking to shelter to warming. And then if not understanding it, it can also burn things down, burn you, make explosions, or whatever the case is. So don't take it in that sense. And I don't think you gave me your birthday where maybe I could offset it. But the fact that it's 8s and 4s. So that means you're probably like somewhere like a 5 or a 6, like May 6th. That would leave, or actually June 6th. That would be an 8, 4, and 3. But anyway, the point is, yes, that I may say that, but if you do, listen, I have a chapter in my book called Numerology and Money, and I explained that no matter what number you are, everybody makes money from a number 1 to all the way to the number 9. So now I will say this though: when I was in China, they definitely favor 6 and 8 as these are the money numbers, and they consider this, when I was in China, they're lucky numbers. And so yes, they're money, but because 8 is unfavorable doesn't mean you can't use it to your advantage. Okay. And by being aware of it, that's what offsets it and makes a difference. Okay. And I would need to get more information from you too on that, Jennifer V. But listen, one thing it tells me, you've checked out the app, and if those are your numbers, don't worry about supposedly 8 and 4s are kind of unfavorable numbers, as so much as knowing that regardless of what number you have, you still have the ability to make money in your way. And all you got to do is pick up a copy of my book, Numbers and You, look up the chapter on numerology and money. No, I don't care what, and I got famous people under every single birthday from the 1 to the 9 that's made a ton of money. Okay. I'm sure you are no exception. It's just how and what methodology you will use to make yours. So I'm going to make one more, maybe 2 more. Okay. Jason wants to know what the app is called. The app is called a star8.com. I'm going to make mention of it as we close out the program. So just stay steady. Be sure you got a camera to take a screenshot or do a screenshot on your computer, whatever the case is. And Jazz is right on the case. There it is right there. You go to www.star8.com. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I talked about Jackie throughout almost a whole event about the book. She did this, that, and the other. Well, Jackie Levine also designed the website for a star8.com, and she put some flavor on it. So if y'all don't do nothing else, y'all owe yourself and go and see how she designed that. Because if y'all want to get some professional services, all my courses on Udemy, I've now reached over 6,000 students. She designed all 3 of those courses, and I paid her well because she deserves it. Now, she don't come cheap. If you got a cheap mindset, y'all got to go somewhere else, okay? Get an AI program, go to YouTube. But if you want a professional job done, check out my website. She did it right there, a star8.com. I mean, she just like, wow, I look at it all the time. It's my app too. All righty. But it's how she did it. I said, how she? But that's the difference when you have a professional on your team and a non-professional on your team. And so I am very, very thankful this lady is on my team. Okay, so let me wrap up with one more. This is Home Vinny, who is November the 18th of 2005. So by the time they just got here a minute ago, no, they don't. I'm only kidding with that. They're in their teens, but this is very interesting because they are a water sign with a fire number. And this combination of water and fire, and then see, they're born on the 18th day. Now, the 18th in the tarot deck is called the power of mediumship, the ability to go in and out of the visible and invisible world. It denotes the material side warring against the spiritual side of man's nature. With you young at this point, this may not mean anything because you're just 2 years off from being 20. But at this time as a young teenager, and if I'm not mistaken, that means you will turn 18. So that means this is going to be a very significant age, just literally right around the corner in a couple of months as you reach your 18th birthday. And you will find that as you get older, your life will get better. And normally with 9 people, because you're born on a 9, 1 + 8 is 9, they normally mature between their 33rd and 36th birthday. There are early bloomers and then there are late bloomers, and you will be one of them. So it's not that you're not going to have your success. And sometimes you can have success very early too. Like Muhammad Ali, born on an 8, and then there's a sign of Capricorn, a late sign, a late number. But by 21, he was a boxing champion of the world. So there are always exceptions to the rule. And we got to stop looking in everybody's backyard and focus what's under your own feet. If you do that, you don't worry. because you're wasting a lot of valuable time focusing on what somebody else is doing when you need to focus on your business. So please do that. All righty. So all I want to say is thank you very, very much. It's 8 o'clock. Tonight I'll be on magnets, crystals, and pyramids. That's it. Magnets, crystals, and pyramids. With Hank Rising Sun. I knew it there. That'll be 9. I'll be on with Cafunia. I won't be on long, but we'll be talking about the event that's coming up on Sunday. And I was hanging out with Hank yesterday, and the fact that Hank is a 7, Cafunia is a 7, I'm a 7. That's going to be good. And I need to thank my wonderful, wonderful co-host, moderator, Jackie Levine. She has really, really knocked it out the box for me. When you want some professionalism, that's the sister to get it done. So let me sign off by saying a couple of things. First of all, let me do this. Where is it? Okay. This is my website right here. Okay. Astronumerologist, LLoyd-Strayhorn.com and star8.com. Sign up for the free monthly newsletter, July, what remains of July. My online courses, I'm on Instagram, Numbers in You, Facebook, Numbers in You, Twitter, Numbers in You, and I think LinkedIn, Numbers in You. It's either Numbers in You or Lloyd Strayhorn. That's it. All right. You can go there and get all that information. And then for those who may have a question about the app is growing. The app is, this thing hasn't been out too long yet. So it's still wet around the ears and all this other stuff, as they say. But if you got any information you want to share, and by the way, when you download the app, when you go to Google, when you go to Apple, leave a comment, especially if you find the app, there are some glitches. I ain't going to front, but in everything that comes out, there are going to be glitches. Nothing comes out 100% out the box. So I was expecting perfection because my ascendant is in Virgo. So I like everything super tight, but it's getting tighter every time I deal with it. All righty. So for those of you who find it personally rewarding, please leave a comment about it. And so there you see it right there, a Star 8 mobile app information. The website is star8.com. The email, comments, inquiries, suggestions is star8llc@gmail.com. And for more information, go to Linktree, Numbers, and You. All right, got that out the way. So I do want to let you know that today's show was brought to you by the Sisters of the Travel. All righty. And it's right around the corner now. Y'all, some of y'all gonna wait till the last minute, and it's gonna be too late. The door's gonna close. So please go to stshealing.com, stshealing.com. And this is the newest brochure about advertising it, the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat. And there you see it be at the Hilton Riverside in New Orleans. Go to STS Healing and sign up before it is too late. And you will have 5 dynamic people from Nina Diamond, Jazz Aphrodite, Aquarius Maximus, my man, King Simon, that's my brother, and myself, of course. And by the way, for those of you who want to write a book, write a play, write a story, write whatever, and you want it done, I'm telling you, the sister is awesome. I'm telling you. So, and I even enrolled in one of her courses, okay? And as much as I've done this, you think I don't have to enroll in any, but I enrolled in her numerology course last year. Awesome. So imagine doing this for writing. And she wrote 2 dynamic books, Knocking from the Inside and Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded. So please sign up for that because August 2nd is right around the corner. It is James Baldwin's birthday, one of my heroes. So, James Baldwin, one of my heroes. He told it the way he saw it. People didn't like it, but like, yo, tough. He's a Leo. They should have checked this sign. Okay, they wouldn't invite him on. But anyway, be that as it may, her writing class starts on Wednesday, August the 2nd. So you see right there, if you want to register, jazzaphrodite.com/learn. That's jazzaphrodite.com/learn. All right, good. And again, this Saturday, I'll be out at Nicholas Brooks. And Wednesday, I will have the astrologer to talk about all these retrograde planets, Khalil Washington, to do that. And for those of you, please sign up for the Star 8, meet a Star 8 and master yourself. I mean that in every sense of the word. By the way, the lady that's holding the app in her hand, if you see it, that's because she was comparing somebody's birthday. There is a compatibility chart so you can get into people's business. For those of you who subscribe, because it's a freemium which means some of it is free, some of it is not free. You can't go through life. Everything is not free in life. Okay, you got to pay some bills. So, but the point is, you'll be able to do as many compatibilities, hold on to them, review them in case you change your mind about this one, took them more at that one, and leave a comment. And this is what the landing page looks like. You'll see your number, your birth number will be on the right. Left, rather, the planet that governs your birth number will be to the right. You will see you will have a star. And I also do the daily forecast every day. So when you wake up in the morning at 7 o'clock, my number, thank you, you will have the daily forecast for today. So download the app. You'll find it a lot of fun. For you, those who subscribe on Google, this is what it looks like. Leave a comment. And those of you who are Apple users, leave a comment. And by the way, please, for those of you who don't want to read the book or to have time to read, I have an audiobook, Numbers in You. Just load it and just get the 15% discount using code number $826. And for those of you who want to see some of the shows by listening to it, I mean, not see it, but listen to it in a car or something like that, I now have these shows available on podcasts, audio, Spreaker, all these other shows is very popular now where you get your iPads, podcasts. I'm on all those shows. All right. I can't name them right now. Spreaker, whatever it is, but they're on there. So go there to listen to the show. And again, please sign up for the free monthly newsletter. And by the way, I'm going to be starting a session on TikTok. It's going to be a little mini session to teach you how to do this. So stay tuned. But I've just joined TikTok and the response has been amazing. And I give all my last salutes to my buddy, King Simon. All righty. He is one of the best. So everybody, I want to thank you very, very much for joining us. You'll all have a nice day. I'll see some of you at 9 o'clock. In about an hour. And all have a nice day until then. And please take good care of yourselves. All right. And I look forward to seeing you then.